What's going on, everybody? Welcome again to Be Yourself podcast therapy sessions. Welcome back to our new session. I'm drinking tea, trying to get this voice right for y'all. But today's session is called When Brotherhood Turns Competitive, the Thin Line Between Drive and Destruction. What's going on? Good morning. For me, it's morning, but I guess depending on when you listen to this, good afternoon, good evening. Today, I'm talking about something that hits deep, especially for me, especially if you've ever built something with people you love. I'm talking about competition between brothers in a group when it helps you rise and when it starts to tear everything apart. Because in music, especially rap, even in life, competition can be the spark that keeps you sharp. But if you don't check that ego, it can also become a fire that burns down everything you built. Why competition is good. Healthy competition between brothers is a gift. It keeps you on your toes. It makes you better. It pushes you to bring your best every time you step into that studio, even the stage, or if you're just in the room with each other and writing. You hear your brother lay down a crazy verse, and instead of hating, it's like, oh shit, it lights a fire. Like, you got to get ready. You want to come harder the next time. Pause. Level up. Get your craft right. Sharpen your sword. That's how legends are made, by pushing each other out of comfort zones. Think about it. Most great groups, Wu Tang, like, come on, one of the greatest groups of all time, they had that energy. Iron sharpens iron. You want to win together. So you bring the A game every single time. That's the good side of competition. It's about elevation, not ego. Obviously, this is a therapy session. So when I say these, it's because I have a story that relates to it. So I'll start off my story because of this session of the intentions of the good competition I had. I moved back to New York. I'm not going to say the dates because I'm going to kill them. I can't remember. It was early 2000s. But I moved back to, or it could be mid. See, I told you I don't really remember. But I moved back to New York from doing some time in Florida. Not time back being in jail, even though I did get locked up too. But after living there for a little bit, I moved back to New York to chase my dreams, to do what I said I wanted to do. Which, if you catch the last episode or last session, the goal was always to do music and do TV and movies in New York. So I moved back, and I got up with my brother now, but Bleezy, aka Joe Black. He used to be really good friends. Well, I mean, they're still good friends with my cousins, Tasha and her husband Carlos. So we used to do little messages here and there and say, "Yo, if I ever go to New York, I'm saying, I'm gonna look you up and let's get busy." So I moved to New York, got up with Bleezy, and he was very inviting, like a very good. He's always been a very great friend, open arms. Um, he welcomed me in. Like, I don't know if he saw something in me, if he shared the same passion and drive I did, or if it was just out of love for my cousin to bring me into the fold. At the time, they had different groups going on, but like at this point in the timeline, the music group was RMG, Regulator Music Group. So, we had a meeting and basically let my other brothers now, but his brothers at the time know that, hey, this is Chance. He just came from Florida. He's gonna be part of us. The vibe to me was crazy. Like, I was ready. The studio was there. It was in-house studio, Bleezy's. I met Gamo. I met at the time DB, um, Lanel. I think that's all I met at the time because I don't think S Star had came yet. But oh, I think I might have met Los, maybe Heron. I'm not sure. But The vibe was great. I was like, oh shit, this is this. Oh, I think I met Chips. Chip, I think Chips was a part of it at the time. But I was like, oh, this is it. Like, yeah. So we would start doing stuff. We'd start making songs, writing shit together. I mean, I let them tell your side of their side of the story. If they ever want to get on the sessions, but I don't think they were too inviting at first. Because the verses, there was a little short, but that's gonna bring me into the second part of the story after this segment switches to when the energy shifts. This is when it gets tricky. Sometimes the same energy that once pushed you forward starts pulling you apart. When comparison creeps in, when one person gets a little more shine, when the fans start saying, no, he's the real star, that's when the love can get tested. It's no longer about making the best music. It becomes who's better, who's getting the credit, who's getting the views, who's getting the love. And once that seed of resentment gets planted, it grows fast. You start recording less together, more against each other. You stop celebrating your brother's wins because deep down you wish they were yours. And that's when the brotherhood starts cracking. Why this happens? At its core, competition goes bad when ego gets louder than purpose. When you forget why you started. When you forget that it was supposed to be all of you, no, sorry. When you forget that it was supposed to be all of you, not just one. See, every group starts with love, hunger, and dreams. But as soon as success starts creeping in some form, with either money, fame, validation from others, that's when the energy changes. If your bond isn't built on real communication and trust, that spotlight will expose it. It'll turn your brotherhood into business. And if you're not careful, business will turn into beef. Now this is important because when I got there, I didn't start it off great, and I'll take full accountability for that. But in my mind, it was a competitive aspect. Like I said, I'm used to groups like the Wu Tang Clan, like NWA, like Rockefeller, like Rough Riders. Even watching the documentaries after, I always thought this is like what I was trying to do. Like I said, I'll take accountability. The first meeting or the first I think studio session I had with the gang out of competition, which looking back I can see how I could rub people the wrong way that I've just met. The first thing I said was, I'm better than all y'all. Now, I know that's real ballsy, like dick on the table. I met it from a perspective of pen writing, of never on a personal level. I'll never say I'm better than anybody. Back then, even now, like no matter fame, no fame, money, no money, I would never say I'm better than anyone. But on a professional, lyrical level, that's what I was trying to say. Just to get the pens going, like, oh shit, bro said he better. All right, cool. I'm about to write some shit. And I'm about to cook them. That's what I intended to do. But you know, being grown and looking back, I can see. So we don't know this dude. We're allowing him to come into a place that we've built, and the first thing that he's saying is he's better than us. I can understand how that rubbed people the wrong way. And in fairness, which was always the thing that I dealt with, is they grew up together. They went to high school together. I think some even middle school. They grew up in the same block in the Bronx. You know what I mean? So they had that like relationship where if they said some shit like that, oh, Chance Wilding right now. Like, all right, cool, I get it. But we didn't have that relationship. So they didn't take it like that. So it was kind of rocky from there. I'll come back to the story. How do we keep it healthy? Here's what I've learned. You can compete and stay solid, but you got to move with awareness. Key number one. which I've learned. Well, I kind of knew then, but I've also definitely learned through growth and over time being older, being blessed to age. Celebrate each other loud. If your brother drops something fire, say it, post it, hype it up. That's love and respect. Two, know your lane. You don't have to be the best at everything. Sometimes your gift isn't what the crowd sees, it's what keeps the team balanced. Three, communicate. This is something we definitely did not have. It was part of why we didn't go out to do better things. Communication. It just if something feels off, you speak on it. Since silence creates distance, and distance turns into misunderstandings real quick. If you don't talk about shit, shit gets blown out of proportion, or people feel a certain way, and no one's there. Said, no, no, I didn't mean that. Four, remember the mission. Y'all started this together for a reason. Never let clout kill chemistry, because when the music stops, all you'll have left is each other. Now, this segment is important because part of the reason I started feeling slight was, excuse me, sorry, is because, like I said, I had moved to New York to do music and I moved to do TV and film. I got into TV and film, started seeing what things were behind the cameras and learning the movie magic and seeing how to shoot things, like what B-roll was and why it's important to different scenes. And I brought this to the guys about, hey, this is what I learned and maybe this can help our videos. So I feel like I was always trying to provide information or things to help the crew get better. And at the time, like I said, I was just ruffling feathers, so they weren't really taking all of the advice that I was giving. And if the advice I gave was taken or received, it was usually towards their stuff and not towards like the collaboration or my stuff. So I felt slighted. Um, there was situations, and like I said, this is therapy, so I'm getting it all out. So when y'all listen, fellas, what I'm saying, we ain't trying to open no wounds, but I'm just trying to let you know how I felt and why it was what it was. But there were situations when like I did things like if I got a good review on a song or if people were really loving what I was doing or like a time when I was in Urban Ink magazine, I thought that was like the biggest thing of my life. It was supposed to be a little tiny ass local artist page, not even a page. It was like a little 4 by 6 box. That's what it was supposed to be. But I ended up seeing it, and it was a 2 page spread, like right after Jim Jones. And this is like at the height of Jim Jones. I was like the next page over, 2 page spread, big ass thing. And to my knowledge, there was only one person that copped the magazine and supported me in the group. I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna say who it's not. But like I said, this is we just released in therapy, and I've already dealt with this, and we've already went through this. But this is just to make my point. And I felt slighted. I felt hurt. My feelings were hurt because no matter what the crew did, whatever they dropped, I copped. Whatever they did, I went to. Whatever they had going on, I purchased or I went to go get. Or if they had a shoot in the Bronx, and I lived all the way in Flatbush at the time, Brooklyn. So if anyone lives in Flatbush, Brooklyn, listen to this and they know where the Bronx is at, and we're talking about Patterson Projects, that's like an hour and a half ride on the train, on the 2 train, mind you. Then you got to switch over. It's like the 4 to 5, and it's just ugly. But it didn't matter the time or whatever. I made my way there. So that not happening, I felt slighted. And then things went on. They ended up forming a group called Fuck the World, which is a really good group. And they made some really good music. They had some really great features. R.I.P. Fred the Godson. I think they had some Dave East. I think they had some other shit too going on. But this is at the height that they made the group. This is the height of when things went left. And I'm not gonna tell everything because everything's not to be told, but it's just miscommunications, feelings that were never spoken or told, and no sit downs is why things ended up drifting apart at the time. Because obviously we're all cool now, but it was a situation. But Bleezy always, kept it 100 with me and always like stayed in my corner. Um, Me and Gamo, I love Gamo, but me and Gamo were always like button heads. To this day, we butt heads. It's just they're super competitive, but I think we've learned how to be competitive with each other and not take it personal, because it was always wild, which is crazy because me and Gamo probably the most alike. But when we got busy, we made some good shit. Like that's my girl. That the hook, the verses is crazy. Like me and Gamo made magic. You know what I mean? Um, Me and DB never really talked as much, but obviously we had a situation, and that'll be from another time. Like I said, not everything needs to be discussed, but we had a little situation. But I just think, and me and DB have obviously talked, because if you don't follow the Geeked Out podcast, you need to go check that out. Because me, DB, Jess, Rook, my sister Bunny, we cooking over there. Like Marvel, TV shows, movies, reality, like we just cooking over there. Right now, it's spooky season, so we lit. But anyway, so obviously we're good. That's the whole point. But we had a situation. I think it's just me and DB didn't really talk a lot, so we didn't really understand each other. Which fast forward, like I said, and I told him in the text, and I can share it because it was not that crazy. But I said we're where we should have been a long time ago, but I'm glad we're here now. Because me and DB pretty much the same, except he'll tell you he got a little OCD, but we're very driven people. We're trying to do what we our dreams and our creative have us wanting to do. We care about the people we're with, and it's like we have the same ideas. So I'm glad we're here now, especially as grown men. But that went a certain way because of miscommunication. Other dudes in the group, same thing, miscommunications, people feeling a certain way. Somebody said something outside of the group and we never addressed it to say, hey, well, did you say this? Did you say that? And then, like I said, a lot of it was I felt like I was showing them things and they weren't either listening, or when they did listen, it was more so for them and not us. But it's all because competition went bad. Things were said and moves were made, and certain people were in like any group. Like I thought we were going to be the Puerto Rican Wu-Tang Clan. Just we had everything, like North, South, singers, Spanish, like everything was popping. But competition between brothers should be like weights in the gym. You're supposed to build each other up, not break them down. You can push each other and still love each other. You can both want to be great without wanting to outshine the other. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to be the best in the group, it's to make the group the best in the game. Because one day the hits fade, the fame slows down, we get old, but real brotherhood, which is what we all have now, the core, that lasts forever if you protect it. I'm glad we're at where we're at with my brothers like Bleezy, DB, Gamo, even people that I didn't really talk to as much, but have gotten to know. Star, Rich, Star. Oh, I said Star. La now. I love La now. Wish we had more time together. He was great doing music. The voice was crazy. The puns were crazy. Star, super energetic. Rico was everyone's goat. And for me, again, another dumb, crazy story is the first time I met Rico, I said this pretty much the same thing. We were at a concert that we were doing, and I mean, obviously, that you need to go back on the channel, the YouTube channel, because I tell the story like I had like three Long Island iced teas, like back to back to back. I didn't know what the outcome would be. I never had Long Island iced tea before, so maybe that could have been the liquor talking. But the first time I met Rico, I basically told him like, my cousin and the group, like you everyone's favorite. So I'm about to show you why I should be everyone's favorite. I know, ballsy, but that's just who I was and misunderstood. But like I said, I'm glad where we're at. We're at where we're now. Grown, communication, loving each other, wanting each other to win. Bleezy's doing his thing. Beautiful family. Still acting, still doing music, still producing. Gamo, same thing, still doing music. Lovely family. DB, lovely family, still producing. Obviously, he's on the geeked out with us now. So now we doing extra business. Um, La now, beautiful family, doing great. Kids in baseball, doing their thing. Star, beautiful family, still making music, I believe. Rico, same thing, still doing music. Beautiful family. I'm happy where we're all at. But that story, and I guess if y'all like this and y'all want to hear more, maybe we could deep dive, maybe get separate sessions with different fellas. But that's a great story of competition and communication when not done correctly could alter the group or could destroy it. It didn't really destroy us. It just made us all decide to go separate and do different things, which, at times, like when I look back, it sucks because I think we would have been one of those groups. And I know we all say it. Everyone that does music or does something else says I would have been that one. But I really believe, like I said, we had the up north style. We had my down south style. I was a ladies man. Like I did the ladies music, like LL Cool J. They had the gutter street shit. We had some singers in our crew. We had some what the hell you call that? What's that Spanish music called? Fuck, I can't even think about it. The reggaeton, we had that with LOS. Like we had it all to where you would have known who RMG was. RMG DTE. You would have known. But, you know, not every story does what it does. You know what I mean? You got basketball players that didn't do what they were supposed to do just because of certain choices. And, it is what it is. But the point of the therapy session today is just to tell you that competition can be healthy in your crew. You just have to know how to navigate through it. You can't make the mistakes that we made or other people have made. Like cheer your brother. Even now, like I've seen it on social media. And it's cool. Like it's the cliche thing they say, but it's so truthful and it sucks. Strangers, I think Wallow said it, and DB sent me this. Strangers will make you famous more than the people you know. Which sucks, but like I said, I'm keeping this group related. So if you're in a crew with people, or you got a gang, and you got a brotherhood or a sisterhood or family, cheer them to win. If they do something, some accomplishment, cheer them. They make a post, like it, share it if you can. If they're doing some kind of thing like a clothing line or stickers or the bags or whatever they can do, share it. Even if you can't cop nothing, share it. It's free to share. It's free to hit a like. It's free to post in the stories. We're living in a day where, if depending on what you do, social media can get you there quick. So support your brothers, support your sisters. Be competitive, but let it be known like, yo, this it's not personal or no disrespect. I'm just trying to sharpen this iron, trying to get us where we need to go. And if it does rub people the wrong way, then don't do it. Or at least don't do it with him. Everyone's different. Everyone's drive is different. Everyone gets pushed differently. You can't push one person the same way you push another person, and vice versa. But before I leave this session, I will say this. And this is for my music crew, because obviously, Rook, I fuck with you, OD. Like you're my boy. I love you. Like my bestie. Like you're my bro for life. I love you, bro. Jess, same thing. Like a sis. I love you. Obviously, like my sister, I love. Um, and my new brothers, like Mikey and all them, like Mills and all them, Los, like Joe, I love y'all. Like, I fuck with y'all. But this is for the crew. Bleezy, I love you, bro. Like, in my face, because, people are different, but I don't think this is of you. I think you're very great, a great person. But I'm just saying, that as of what I know, you've always been 100 with me. You always been real with me. You always been my brother. You always let me know when I was wrong, when I was right. But you never left. You might have put a little distance because I was wild and crazy. Thought I was a Puerto Rican Pac. But you never left me, bro. I appreciate you. I love you, bro. Gamo, you know. You the brother that, We bump heads and shit, and you know what I mean? Like, but the love is strong. We are one of the same. I love you, bro. Like, I appreciate you. I'm glad we're where we're at. I'm glad we came to the understand. I'm glad we had the conversation. Um, Star, love you, bro. Ain't talk much, but I love you, bro. Same thing, Lionel, love you. Rico, love you, bro. You got so much creative shit in your brain, bro. I hope everything that you want comes to fruition. Um, DB, definitely glad we had that conversation. Definitely glad we're building and we're cooking and geeked out. Grateful for what you've brought to that channel and to me as far as creative ideas that things I wouldn't have seen or things I would have let slide. I'm like, you know, you're right. I should have changed that. I should do that. I appreciate you, bro. I love you. So, in closing, because our time's up, it's okay to be competitive. Just don't be a dickhead like me about it. Don't be cocky to where they don't know what you're doing. You can sharpen your swords with each other, but let it be known that's what it is. And if there's any kind of disagreement or any kind of miscommunication or any misconception, address it either privately or with the crew so that you guys don't fall apart or your dreams don't get to reach where they should be. It's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. It's supposed to be all against the world. You're gonna get enough hate from the world. Don't have it in the group. So if you're listening and you've had a situation, whether it's family, friends, and maybe you haven't reconciled yet, please take this time to reach out. Fuck pride. We all gone at some point, and you'll never get this opportunity again. Fuck pride. Send a text, send a call. Like, hey, can we talk? If you're just going through this now, you're just starting up, listen to what I'm saying. Competition is great, but be very clear of what you are trying to do and what the goal is so that the ego don't get to lead to destruction or, like I said, the misconceptions. But anyway, whatever. Now it's a little bit of a ramble, so I'm gonna go ahead and plus, you know, our time's up. So until the next session, be yourself.